Once again, quick shout out and just a heartwarming shout out to the man that was and the man that told it like it is. Cause you still gotta appreciate where it is for where it is, and that's what you can do for Kim Samuels. Appreciate him for what he did. They have no shame in doing so. Whether if your knees, whether if you're a man and you're on your knees, for regardless for women in general, or if you're not, you're a misogynist, or quote unquote, the so-called misogynist, and you support this so-called manosphere and the red pill, taking whatever, all that shit. You still have to, even though you still have to appreciate and just for what he did and how he said it, 100% true in and true out. But that's what I wanted to say before we really get into this. That's why I ain't got no music on for today too. So I'm actually coming back a little, cause I was feeling a little down lately too as well because also heard a death. A part of, I don't know if y'all know Amazing Lucas, but of course got that community over there. That's extremely even though it's like it can be extremely hellish trolling it sometimes, the community itself, but they still got, you still have some individuals who may seem like they they might be too hard putting, or really toxic, or just really ignorant, but inside, and once you really get to sit down and really talk to them side by side, face to face, it can be much more than that. And yeah, that's why I've been also probably still down too, but I just I'm trying to move along and still talk about what I need to talk about. So, and my apologies for the ones that it's probably just majority that right now at the moment, that's for wrestling. So my apologies about that, and I'm not doing my apologies. I'm not doing backlash tomorrow, or today now, because it's Sunday now, 1 in the morning, May 8th. So yeah, I won't be doing that later on, but I'll probably talk about it a little bit if I get the chance. But yeah, I won't be doing that, so my apologies for that. But all this week, like Raw, SmackDown, I promise. But yeah, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, even Dynamite. I'll be doing that, twice before I just fade off and the usual. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way too. But like I said, and when I first gave my condolences and my flowers to Kevin Samuels, in the when I first talked about it, I didn't agree. Just like the whole, of course, the whole manosphere and these, that can be like obviously painted out to just be, a group of men that obviously, just like women, or just like human women, that could obviously can be a group that's just, when it comes to the whole manosphere thing, that basically started in, I want to say, 2016, or you can even say 2018ish. But yeah, the whole manosphere thing, which is basically just a group of men who's just completely upset and angry with themselves, just like the same as women, but in this case the men. But because when they went out, because the females that they attracted, and and the female that may have broken them inside in the past. But like I said, I definitely didn't agree with all his points, and he obviously had a mindset that was that could be looked at as very, obviously not just another one that almost, so I'm just like, I'm trying to put this in a way. Yeah, you could definitely put it into where he's like, obviously he still believes that women is beneath, but rather than a rather than a pair equal, a pairing, basically like like a partnership, but more so beneath them, which is basically he was like when it comes to basically his whole word, or his whole psychologically. I mean, yes, psychologically, but yeah, like I said, you have to appreciate where and give credit where it's due, because he told it like it is, like no other man, especially on social media and the era, the age that we now live in, where much more now compared to way back then, where women were praised. Yeah, now just like in this age, women are praised, and they're looked at. You have males that get on their knees, like you can see it. It's all you can daily see it on Twitch, and it's extremely it's extremely upsetting and off-putting, or just really sad, and just if you want to say a bad name for the man itself, because yeah, this, like Kevin Samuels told it like it was. He didn't give any woman, and acted like they were on some type, or their own pedestal. No, he brought forth, and he lunged, and he brought down that hammer and told it how like it is to every. He also, he told it like it is to every woman who came on his show, his panel, and that's where. And he also came from nothing, and this man's name, when of course the news hit, like this man had, like, that's how this man name hit Fox. Like it hit Fox. I don't know if it hit CSN, but just it hit Fox. That's how you also just know how much of an impact, even by celebrities too, which, or people of very known worldwide notoriety. Like this man like was known. He was making, he made in such a short span of years, and it goes to show you that just my word for humans in general, my audience, my fellow cosmic brethren, never be in an image or paint out, never succumb to an image that people, that individuals want you to specifically be yourself, be you. And it's obviously, just like me, just look at me, and just people all over, just the YouTube or the platforms, like, and they're being themselves, whether toxic, well, yeah, they're being themselves, and they have thousands of millions of subscribers. Yeah, if you want to be a part of the mob and go the quick route, and want to be an appealing to just negativity in general, you'll grow extremely big. But what will be the worth in it all? And Kevin Samuels, like I said, he displayed the truth, and not, or just he displayed his opinions, his psychologically, and his just what he gave it like it is, and he didn't sugarcoat it for what worth a damn, and yeah, and he was hated for it. Like I said, I will agree to that too. That you know, it's extremely, even though I have, and the way I feel about humans, and where I'm at with them now. I will agree. I have some type of, even though I hate to say it, some type of still emotion when it comes to some, because they're a rarity. It's getting much more of a rarity, but there's some out there that still mean well, and like Kevin Samuels. Of course he didn't. Of course people try to deem it as him bashing, and of course putting down black women. Like I said, if that was the case of him actually putting down black women, then you wouldn't have black melanated females out here praising and contributing to an industry that portrays women in general, but that's still just like in hip hop, or whether it's in entertainment, specifically the show. They have a show called P Valley, which is, you can pretty much spell that out. I'm not gonna say it obviously, but you can pretty much know what that is. P Valley. It was a TV show. I don't know if it is. And you had it was a woman creator too, and she's some so-called philosopher, and I guess what she did, supposed did for black women, but she contributed and made a show about strippers, and I think it was majority of black, women, and I think it was trans also, and they. That's what that's what I laugh most about. Of course, you'll have this too, a much more, because you still have black. Of course you do. You have black females out here who will extremely be delusional about the fact that, as if they're not contributing in an industry that puts black women in general, but that puts still black women in a negative light. And they act like they're the barrier of all light, and that they want to be specifically that, this angel for black women in general. But no, you contribute to a world and an image, and you're built as far as some black women too. They built an image up for themselves, displaying their bodies. And that's it's completely laughable how they want to judge so much, like individuals like Kevin Samuels, and so-called as far as black, because you have this, of course you have the gender war going on, and you have this subsidiarity war going on between, of course it's been going on, I want to say since, because I've noticed it. I've been noticing it, and it's fucking extremely pathetic. You have this subsidiarity war. I don't know because I know it's probably just right for now. Majority of my audience is wrestling, but you have this subsidiarity, of course, but that's what the plantation, the masters did, as they succeeded. But you have this mindset in black women, just a group, and as far as individuals too, to have a platform, that's like Cynthia. I know one of them, like Cynthia, and then you have black men too, and you have back and forth, and it's just a bicker batter back and forth, black men and black women just going at each other for what? It's just for what? Because two sides over the same shit that two sides did to each other, and it's not they both want to act like they're in the right when it's not at all, and it's completely pathetic. It truly is. How you just have, of course, like I said too, you have black women out here too. I said you have black females, and you have women out here that will, I said, contribute to an industry that puts down black women so much and portrays them in a light that doesn't put them up, but they want to talk about individuals. They want to come so hard. They want to come so hard and talk so much shit about individuals like Kevin Samuels, and how he unexpectedly his death came, and how they just completely just how they just, sorry, I just like being sporadic, but how they just completely just tore into this man and just completely just being complete irony in itself, trying to put his words against him, and his catchphrases. And the most recent one where he said that, if you're, that's the one that's being mocked at him. Well, he recently said that if you're over 35 and you're not married, then you're just a leftover. Like I said, that's one of the views. Like I said, that's one of the points where like I said, I'll say it again at the end too, but I still had, admiration and for the fact that he was still having a cause that still went out here and that was trying to help black women, black men, and that was what he was succeeding. And he that was, like I said, it was never, even though probably some sort of degree, it's like probably halfway through of him, like his rise, I knew probably half of it, if you cannot tell, that probably half of it obviously became about, degrading, or, to some extent, like I said, I won't say fully, but to some extent, it probably became halfway about, degrading women, or, just just off-putting and, roasting and whatever for, entertainment. And that's why I say I completely, that's was one of the thoughts of why I just don't, I like the fact that he's like still spoke his mind, but he was still about, and his whole demeanor was just, I still didn't support it because it was still in a way off-putting and just trying to also, potentially put down and just degrade women in general, and just not put them on, just as far as like equal partnership. He obviously didn't believe in that, but yeah, like I said, it was, it's completely just, it's a complete, like, absolute shame, a complete, like, even though, like, I could say I do, but even though I still don't give a fuck, but because about humans, because the way I feel about humans, it's still like it is a complete shame of how his name is just was completely, torn apart and extremely disrespected, and how it was just, and of course you had a majority of those women, of those females. Sorry, I don't, I can say females for y'all, but I call, human, just women in general, Jezebels. But you had majority of these Jezebels, most likely baby mamas too, and, or single, half of them probably were, a small number of them were, in fact, single mothers, came out here, and I said, and just completely disrespected, and, just, out of no way, just, put it down, and basically, yeah, proving his point about why you are single, and why you're alone and single with children, and why whether you don't look as presentable as you should be. It's because your demeanor, your aura, your character, and the way you carry yourself. Like I've had my fair share, of course, because I love black women. Still fucking doubt. And I've always, and when it still comes to when it just comes to a black woman in general, I can't control myself. But of course, I had my fair share. I'll say that, and I had one. Like, not only did, of course, what we're about, because of course she's a single mother, like I said, if I didn't say it before, I'll say it now because basically it's still new. But yeah, biggest mistake in my life. But and obviously she had this mindset of where she looked at men, she looked at the men, where of course like the absent, the baby fathers, just the ones that were in the street and just completely having nothing. That's like basically no manner, or not carrying themselves in a way that's you know extremely gentleman like, and just a man that's just completely obviously disrespectful towards women. Obviously, probably he wasn't raised, or probably in a, because majority of, like I said, majority of humans aren't raised in a, or probably halfway, but majority of humans probably is not raised in a two person, or two parent household. But yeah, she looked at those type of men as far as them being a man. And because I was still in that stage of where, of course, I was still in the delusional stage. Not that you shouldn't be, like you still believe in that. I just don't want anything to do with humans. But I was still, I was completely shocked about that. And because she still also had a boy, she also had a boyfriend too, ex-boyfriend, that was pretty much still after her, and he was basically still pursuing and still trying to, still stalking basically. And of course, you have her the type of mindset, females, Jezebels like her, that still looked at those type of men as manly and completely of masculinity. And it's just like, y'all wonder why. And she was all about too. It's like she wanted to get away from that type of life and just didn't want to be around men that was just completely and probably basically in danger of her children as well. But like you wonder why. Like I said, all the females, of course, like they were dragging completely, dragging, basically quote unquote, and just completely disrespecting and just shamefully dragging Kevin Samuels in the name through the mud. Like y'all sit there and did what y'all did that day on that Friday, and you wonder why. You wonder why you are in the state that you've always been. Whether that since you've been just like your mothers and your aunts and your aunties and your sisters. You all wonder why you've been in the same position that you've always will and continues to be since birth, and since that you've been taught that. It's because you have a character, you have a personality that's so reminiscent of anger that you yourself contributed to. That, because we all know, right, whether you want to say it or not, that you have, because we all have problems, and we all have issues and problems, whether you want to say psychologically, of course. But we all do know right from wrong. Even Lucifer himself, we for damn sure all know right from wrong. And like I said, like y'all sit there and did what y'all did that day on that man. I say you can feel wherever you completely feel and still go out the way that you went. You wonder, as you continue to be alone in bed, or wherever you are, in bed, sitting down at chair watching your favorite TV show, and you're outside, or you at the club, or just be completely being degenerate. And like I say, you wonder why you're in the position that you are in now. You wonder why you're single, you have however many children that you have. You're a single mother, you're broke, or you're not. You're barely making endings of a meet. whether you have an OnlyFans or not, where if you're involved in that type of sexual entertainment, you wonder why. Like I say, you wonder why you're in the position that you are now. It's because the type of aura, the type of character that you display, the type of aura that you walk with, and y'all, every one of you showed, whether you believe it or not, too, if you partook in it as well, male or female. You wonder why you've had, you've had the experiences and the wrongs that you have done to you and still continue to have done to you. It's because you continue to lead a pathway that's destructive. And you don't want to look at that and write that. And cause like I said, that man told it like it is. And many women obviously didn't hate it, especially black women. Like I said, you can call me whatever, and try to put it in a way of me being, like I said, whatever you can, because I obviously don't give a fuck. Like I said, I have however I feel about humans. I don't care. I don't give a fuck at all. Like I'll say it again. Like, you wonder why you're in the position that you're at. It's because you put yourself there. And you continue to surround yourself with individuals and men that have no care and have no reminiscent, and they other than to be around you and use you for whatever, that's all for their needs. Y'all can think about that too. However you feel about somebody's opinion, look, I will say that also. However you feel about somebody's opinion. Say, I can feel whoever I feel to, and however I feel about humans. That still doesn't give you away to how Kevin Samuels was gone out and disrespected like that, and completely just celebrated. That's fucking pathetic. And extremely uncalled for. So and humans wonder why. I'll say also, humans wonder why also we are at the stage that we are at. People say that Jeffrey Dahmer. People say that Jeffrey Dahmer. People like Jeffrey Dahmer were sick. Can't the same be said for those black females, those black Jezebels, Friday? I say y'all can want to think about that. Y'all might want to think about that. And like I say, as you continue to still, because you can see, like, you can try to have a fake parada all you want. You still cry inside, and the fact that you still have a heart that's, of course, shattered. You still, like I say, you could have the fake bravado that you have, but you're not fooling anybody at all. Like I said, the Nickies and the Cardi B's especially. You're not in a Megan Thee Stallion, so of course you're not fooling anybody at all. That's what I'm leaving with y'all. Once again, praises, and for if you're from Lucas's, if you watch Lucas, and if you're from Lucas's community, and if you see this too, blessings to y'all. And like I said, if I didn't know now, I completely know now. I extremely believe in the fact that, you never know when you are here. Or, people closest to you, you never know when they are here. For how long. So, give your praises and thanks to them, as they're still with you, because they can be. The next day, you look up or you look around, they may not be there. I want to thank the ones who've been supporting recently, and if you're a recent a part of the Cosmic Brethren. If you're not, join now. And as we go on the journey, we're definitely going to be singing. Like I said, I didn't agree with his all. Once again, I didn't agree with all his points, but he told it like it was, and he was one of he was a real one. We definitely for sure lost a real one. He had such of an impact amongst specifically black and men in general. Definitely was one. Like I said, obviously he had his faults, but he still told it like it was, and obviously had where he wanted to help and repair the black relationship, and just when it comes to the partnership, just relationships in general. So rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. And if y'all do know too, if you're from Lucas's community, rest in peace to Riley too as well. I'm still hurting over that as well. And like I said, also, I also had to say too, if part of the community, and like I said, whoever in that shit, because I hate the fact too that people closest to me say that shit too. It's just, I won't say but it's the person, I won't say yet, but fucking person that thinks that just because you don't know a person, you don't have to feel sorry. Like I said, another reason why the humanity is way where the fuck is at. It's because how we think, how little we think. It's stupid as fuck how we think. Like I say, if you're a part of a community, if you still didn't know the person in their past, still give a thanks, and just be extremely wholesome. You don't have to know a person to wanting to be a completely wholesome. That's fucking stupid. So fuck you if you believe in that, and if you don't, then blessings to you as well. And like I said, the person closest to you, bless everybody now that and come in contact with, because it truly is real. The person that you're closest to might not be there the next day. I don't want to say that, but it's true. Especially in this society, the realm that we're in. Be wary of that. And like I'll also say again, the females, whoever partook in part of that Friday, morning, afternoon, or wherever, so forth, as they continue to do so, you wonder why you are at the position you're at. Exactly right there is what proved this extremely fucked up mentality towards Kevin Samuels. Like I said, I can care if you, because I've given the Satisfactory. That's why I've been completely silent and calming and a logical mindset, because I've given all the satisfaction as my anger, sadness. I have none of that no more. I've given that Satisfactory towards humans my whole life. But at this point, never again. So you could be as far as who you want to be, especially toward coming into the comments. If you do, I could barely give a fuck. But like I said before, and going out, you wonder why, specifically black women. You're just like that statement says too, and that's a biracial, of course. That's a woman as well too, and a black woman. Black women talk about black men's toxic behavior all the time. But if you dare speak the truth about their toxic behavior, you'll be shamed into silence. No one is allowed to criticize black women for their toxic behavior, not even black women themselves. Kevin Samuels proved it, and he definitely fucking did. If he wasn't a beacon of it, he definitely, and just like he did, just like Friday, he definitely fucking was. Because you have this fake ass bubble of course, too, when it comes to black women, and they don't. Of course, you can't have especially when it comes to two black men, and you can't speak, and you can't put them into word. You can't put the show about their flaws, and you can be how you are and be extremely blunt as possible as you can be. No, you have to pat on the head, and you have to bow down, and you have to say all. I will say that too. Not all women are queens. Of course they're not. Of course, no woman is a king or a queen. As what they should have been, but sadly, no. Especially when it comes to Jezebels. No woman is. No woman. Especially when it comes to that Pacific. Or I could, wherever you can fucking spit. Like I said, once again, I do not give a fuck. Not all women are queens. They had never been and never will be. Once again, you wonder why you wonder why you're in the stage that you're in. It's because that slander against Kevin Samuels, that disgusting, vomiting uproar, what happened on Friday proves exactly that. Y'all wonder why y'all in the position that y'all at. Thank y'all for your time. I definitely had to talk about this in this commentary. Bless y'all. Stay blessed. Give thanks and appreciate the ones that's in your life. Cause if you don't have ones that haven't known you or haven't known you in the time, I haven't had ones that's been down with you since day one, since you grew up. Definitely, it's gonna be fucking rare times finding them now. I don't think that you're at a position. Don't think you're at a position that you're. Oh fuck, fuck it up. Don't think you're at a position that you're at, and don't think that because a person that you're at a position that you're at, and you have a person that you think that's your friend, and that you're at a position that they want to be at, and of course you can sense that type of aura that's off-putting about them, that whenever they come around you, they're bent. They obviously are, completely jealous about what you have. So like I said, appreciate the ones that actually want to be there in your life and support you. Love you. Be there for you. Because you definitely have ones that's about as faking it as fuck. So stay blessed. Bless you. And I'll see y'all wherever I see y'all again. Stay blessed, y'all.